All right, what's up? Yours truly, Brother Hammond's here. Coming to you live for just a taste. As a matter of fact, just ride with me for a bit. We are out here at, well, let's just say the Riverside Terminal. Okay. Oh boy. Let's turn up the volume here. Readjust. Hold on a second. All right. That was funny. Camera was. Is there a tightening device back here? Yeah, there it is. All right. Now I think I'm straight. Doggone camera was loosening. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I need to get into the other lane. I need to get into the other lane. Let's see if this truck will go ahead and move on. All right, now we're moving over. Anywho, yours truly, Brother Hammond's here. Just getting out of day one of orientation. And out here in Riverside, at the Riverside Terminal of Unsaid Company. Oh boy. It's going to probably be a short live because of the battery and whatnot. But anyway, I just want to take a little ride. If you've ever been to California, or especially around the Inland Empire, you know that there's a lot of desolation out here and a lot of warehouses and industrial type stuff tucked around in here, and and lots of commercial vehicles, definitely trucks. Buku terminals out here, but actually, as the billboard indicates, Truck City, or the truck capital of USA, is actually up the road here a little bit in Fontana. Now that is for sure. That is for sure. There are just so many trucks in Fontana. And there's some terminals there as well. And as well as a lot of, if you need to get your truck worked on, that is the place to go. In contrast to being out in the middle of nowhere and, you're lucky or fortunate to have someone that can work on your vehicle. And I would imagine if you're driving around in a Volvo or even a Mercedes or something like that, semi, you might be out of luck. If you believe in luck, that is. But at any rate, get over here. Oh, wait a minute. These roads out here, and I have to get that down pat. They really don't do a great job at letting you know which side your ramps are on. You know, in some spots is better than others, and that's just a thing. Whether you're driving or not, whether I was driving a semi or not. I mean, obviously it's places vary, and that's one thing you definitely have to be very conscious of. Thus, trip planning and whatnot. Although I don't know whether or not the road atlas lets you know which side is on. You just have to look as far ahead as you can, and hopefully you hit it. Because if not, then the turnaround might be, a bear. But anyway, it was nice orientation there. I'm going to be doing a video. I'll try to get it, chopped up and everything, and upload it by the end of the day, if not tomorrow or this weekend. It'll be pretty much a safety video, and I think that, and there's a lot of golden nuggets in there, and the usual stuff there too. And I think that whether or not you are a new driver or a seasoned driver, I think it would be, I think you'll get something out of it. I think there's merit there, because a lot of it pertains to driving in California as well as interstate. So you'll want to check that out, because if you don't come to California often, or you don't drive in California often, or you haven't driven in California in a little while, there's some stuff in that video, in that safety video, that will probably help save you some money. And when I talk about money, I'm talking about money that the CHP, the Transportation Department, DOT, might assess you for being in violation. And and also, points on your license, which of course is something that I'm going to let Brother Swift in. Go ahead, Swifty. Got you covered, brother. Got you covered. I'm paying it forward. I'm paying it forward. Putting it in, dropping the seed. I'll need that one day. Wait a minute. Yeah, we're just riding along. Nothing really major. I think all of the major stuff is going to be next week. Next week, Monday through Wednesday. Stay tuned for that, because that's going to be a blast as well. And no, I will not be making turns like that in my rig. Actually, down around these parts, it's a little bit tricky. So if you don't know that much about Southern California, especially out here in the IE, definitely jump on that road atlas, because I can imagine that the GPS will just be going crazy out here. Have you all twisted up? Nice pretty view of the haze that that plagues the IE primarily. Well, primarily because there's mountains all around California, and definitely there's a range out here that's a part of the Angeles Forest that extends down here. Big Bear and Mammoth and all of that are part of it. And did you know Big Bear is actually a volcano? It's dormant now. It hasn't been, active in a long time, but it is actually a volcano. Let me try to straighten that up. Is this on my screen? All right. So that's true. And Big Bear Lake, is the top of the volcano. So, boy, if that thing ever came back to life again, like Mount St. Helens did, I believe that's in like Washington or something, or Oregon or something. It's something out here. I have to look that up. I'm usually pretty good with geography and history and things of that nature. I just forget what state Mount St. Helens is in, but and anywho, if that thing ever came back to life again, we're already on the San Andreas Fault. We'll be in for some problems, especially those people out here in the IE. Now, I was saying about this gorgeous haze and fog that you see, or not fog, but haze that you see out here. So it's and I used to be stationed out here at San Bernardino, and we had a sister base in Riverside out here as well, Marina Valley. I was stationed in Norton. I was in the Air Force, and so I know a little bit about it. The heat and the smog and everything else. The smog is a whole lot better than it was back in the day. But all of that blows, from the ocean, over the inland area there, all the way out here to the quote-unquote Inland Empire, and it hits a mountain range, and it doesn't go anywhere. The same kind of thing happens up around the San Fernando Valley as well. There's a mountain range up there, and it doesn't go anywhere. But I think it's worse out here in the IE. It just sits there, doesn't go anywhere, and so everything around it, suffers as a result of it. And when heat is really up and it really gets hot out here, sweltering sometimes, oh man, it's just miserable. Used to work on the flight line, working on jets, and that was quite an experience. We literally had to pour water on our tools sometimes before we touched them. Actually, if we had to do that, it was actually a violation. If it was in the toolbox, that is, because in weather like that, and generally, actually, most of the time, if you're on the flight line, you need to have your toolbox, your tools secured, and closed to help prevent what we call FOD, foreign object damage, because aircraft, with their powerful turbojet engines, will suck up a tool. They'll suck up a person, and that's no joke. Or as Guilty would say, facts. And so, yeah. But every now and then, when you're working and you're just trying to, knock things out or whatever, you need to grab, another wrench or something like that, another socket or whatever, and you just set it on the top. It doesn't take too long out here in this sun SoCal sun to heat up a tool and make it too hot to touch. But that was back in the day when I turned the wrenches. I did a little training too. Did a few things while in the Air Force. It was all good. All right, Country Village Road. Actually, as you may or may not have seen that sign, that would be the road going back over to the truck driving school. Now, as you see, I am in the lane next to the carpool lane, or also known as the fast lane. And the trucks that we're passing here, they are in compliance. They are in proper lane. Slide over here so this car behind me can get by. But yeah, on 4 or 5 or more lane oh boy. We're live again. Let's see how long the connection lasts this time. It's been going out here for the past few times, so I don't know how much of what you saw didn't see or hear. I was talking about these trucks here being in compliance because on a 4-way, definitely here in California, I suspect it's everywhere. Are we again? I'm having such a situation here with this phone for some reason. I am not feeling it. But I was going to say, guy from Arizona is driving like he's in Arizona, I guess. If you're driving a commercial vehicle, you're not in the far 2 lanes to the right, you could get a ticket for about $300. And I don't know how much fuel that could purchase, but that could, that might be, a nice, to put it into the old fuel tank. So, and a lot of people think that California has so many, regulations, whatever, we're regulation heavy. Well, that's really not the case. And I actually have, some video footage of the CHP covering those aspects, or covering that aspect, or that myth. That might actually, DOT is a lot stricter. Did you know that driving interstate in California, obviously, intrastate, that a 30-minute break is not required. Now that might not be any big thing there. I mean, what do I know? I'm a rookie neophyte. But labor law actually in California says that, or states that you need to take a break, at least a 15-minute or something like that, or lunch. I think it is a lunch break within your first 4 to 5 hours of your day, of a normal 8-hour day. So, but as it relates to commercial driving, you are not required to break. That might be a company requirement, depending on, and that's whether or not you're working for a trucking company or any other company. But that's in contrast that with DOT. DOT requires that you take a 30-minute break. And I guess where people get in trouble is, you know, or out of compliance is not doing that accordingly. But from what I hear, the e-logs keep you on point, or help keep you on point. And if you're team driving, I guess, you know, you key in some codes or whatever, and it knows that it's you, and you're on your clock and they're on their clock, which might be similar, but it'll be different, of course. So I mean, so those are some golden nuggets, you know, that, you know, I picked up, and I'll try to share those as I go along here on my journey of learning, you know, how to do this thing. And I mean, so if you're watching the video and you go a while or whatever, you know, it's nothing new. And maybe you're clapping your hands and saying, hey, all right, young buck, STB would say, young buck, you're getting it, or at least you're got a long ways to go. A lot more things to experience, and a lot more moves, you know, to make. Because believe me, what's her name? Cardi B is not the only person that's going to be making some money moves. Yeah. That's right. Now, one of the things, you know, that, you know, I mean, just a curiosity for me is, now I know that if I see a, what's it, a PYG or PMG or YMG, you know, I know, you know, at least, you know, that group of truckers. You know, I don't know them personally, but I know, you know, who they're claiming and what that is, and even who it might be. But it would be great to actually be able to identify, you know, some of the other truckers that I've seen, you know, on YouTube, that is. You know, and, you know, that's just out of respect, and, you know, just, hey, just knowing some people that's doing their thing, have been doing their thing for a long time now. I know that there are a few brothers out here that are definitely local. You know, I'm not certain of the lanes that they run. Grown down on he's out here. He invited to me a couple to the ground. You know, that always kind of blows me away. You know, little me, you know, from, you know, people that are way up there in subs and, you know, been out in the industry for a little while. The same way with Brother Ghost, who's doing his fleet thing out and around here. I think he's got a terminal or whatever somewhere in Fontana. We've got the Wright brother. I watched a video with of him last night or yesterday. I think he's on his way back out here to California after a couple stops, you know, on the way. Guilty 781. I don't think he likes to roll out here in California, you know, but it'll be interesting to, you know, just say hello to him as well. Man, it's funny, but serious too. I mean, you know, he's got some knowledge, man. All these guys have knowledge. Because just like, you know, I mean, I claim I'm a Christian guy. Yeah, I got testimonies out the yin yang. And there's one thing that no one can ever dispute or take away from you, and that is your experience. Your experience is your knowledge. Whether you learn it from a book or is it coming back? Gosh, this thing has been losing signal here, so I don't know how the live feed is going to look when I finally get to a point that I can upload it. But anyway, I was just speaking, and I'll wrap this up. I don't want to bore. Everybody's got something to give. Everybody has merit. Whether it's an example of the wrong way to do something or example of the right way to do something. It helps either way. And so big props and shout out to all those guys, and God bless you, and the ladies too. Trucker Diva, what is it? Keeping It 100, Tiny House. I'll know them all after a while. But at any rate, yours truly, Brother Hammond's here in Southern California. Getting ready to get out of here. I'm going to find me something. So always in parting between time and then be blessed. As always, be a blessing to somebody else.